Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel Automation in Detail. Shiva here. In this video, I'll show you how to download and install Appium Inspector graphical user interface application on your system, both on MacBook as well as the Windows system. Fine. So here we have two different types of application for Appium Inspector. So the first one is desktop app and the second one is web app. I'll show you both how to do it. Now, before we proceed further and download this Appium Inspector, right? So let me explain you why we need Appium Inspector in the first place. Fine. Yeah. So this is the typical Appium architecture. So that is the client server architecture, how Appium works and all. So if you guys have not watched this video already, I'll add a link to this video in the top right corner of this section so that you guys can go and see that video. So that what I will be explaining now in this video, right? So you'll be able to understand it. Fine. Now here we know that our automation script acts as a client and it will send HTTP request to the Appium server. So based on the platform, the Appium server will take the help of the respective drivers to interact with the targeted device, and it will install the testing application and it will start the interaction with that application, right? So to write our automation script, we need to find an element, right? For finding the element, right? So we need to have a locator value. So how do we even get those locator values? So that is where this Appium inspector comes into picture, where with the help of Appium inspector, we can add the desired capabilities and which platform you want to interact with and what is the automation name of it and what is the device name you want to interact with and the application that you want to test. So this will send a request to the Appium server. See, the only difference is that here our automation script is sending the request, which is acting as a client, but here the Appium inspector will send the request and which will act as a client to the Appium server. So the rest remaining process and the steps after this will remain exactly same. Okay, and one more thing, what will happen here, right? When this request is sent to the testing application, assume that your first screen on that particular testing application is a login screen. So what this will do is that once the session is created and the app is installed on the targeted devices, this will get a screenshot of that login screen in the Appium inspector tool with the page source. So that means, suppose for example, if the 10 elements are visible on the login screen, you'll get a page source of those particular 10 elements. And also you can use this Appium inspector tool to interact with those elements, like finding the element using different strategies such as XPath, CSS, ID or accessibility IDs. And also you can perform click on tap operation, you can send some keys and swipe. Okay, so that you will get to know how does your application interacts with these locator values. Is it even accepting the values which I am sending, or is it performing the swipe and all? Everything we can get to know with the help of this Appium inspector tool. Fine. So to name a few more features of Appium inspector, right? So as I told you that we can use this Appium inspector to inspect the UI elements of both Android as well as the iOS applications. So there is a tool available to inspect only the Android application. So that tool is called as a UI Automator Viewer, where you can't use that tool to inspect the iOS applications. But Appium inspector can be used to inspect elements of both Android and iOS applications. This is one of the biggest advantage, right? And it also provides different locator strategies to find the elements, be it ID, accessibility ID, XPath and class name, to name a few. And also it can be used to interact with the UI elements to simulate the user interactions, like click, send keys, clear and swipe. Fine. Now we can also use this tool to compare the speed of different element locating finding strategies. For example, this will give you the time, like if you try to find an element with ID, how much time does it take, and if you try to find the same element with the XPath, how much time does it take, so that you can compare the time between these strategies and pick the one which best suit for your need. Okay, of course you will always select the one with the lesser time, right? So this we will all see it in upcoming videos. Actually, I'll create a dedicated videos for all these things, so don't worry about that. This is just a high level overview of it. And one more important feature is that it can be used to connect to the different cloud platform tools, platforms such as Sauce Labs, Browser Stack, Lambda Test, Perfecto. So to name a few, right? These are the few platforms, but it will support more than 10 such platforms. Okay, so more features of the Appium inspector is present in this section. So I'll add a link to the this web page in the description section so that you guys can go and refer it. And if you want to see the one more feature is that we can attach to an existing Appium session which is currently running, so that also we can do it. And one more thing is we can record, actually. Yeah, you can record your actions directly on your Appium cloud which supports 5 different programming languages, like Java, JavaScript if I'm not wrong, and also Python. So that we will see it in detail, no need to worry about it. Okay, now let me go back to the PPT, and yeah, so let's go and install the desktop application first. So either you can go to this link or directly open the browser and type Appium inspector download, and you can click on this first link if you want to directly go to the latest releases, or you can go to this link which will give you the description of what is this Appium inspector means. Like it says the Appium inspector is a GUI assistant tool for Appium which provides visual inspection of the application under test, and it can show the application page screenshot along with page source, includes various features for interacting them. This is what I was trying to say, that you will get a screenshot of that particular page with this particular app source, and you can interact with that particular or list of elements using these tools. Okay, now before we install we need to meet certain system requirements so that we can get it from this get started section. So here it says system requirements. Here we need to click on system requirements, and here, right, so we have 2 versions. So the one is web app and one more is desktop app, right? So I'll show you how to go to this web app. So that is simple, actually. You just have to open this link. I'll add a link to this in the description section. What is happening? Okay, let me just copy it and paste it here. See, this is how it looks. Now let me install the desktop app and I'll compare how it looks. Okay, so before that, what it is saying is that desktop app works on Windows 10 plus, Mac OS version 10.15 plus, and Ubuntu, and this Debian and all. So we'll not worry about those things. So majorly we are focusing on Windows on Mac OS, and up to 600 MB of free space is required, and the minimum application window size is 890 to 710 pixels. Hope you guys have this meeting, your system is meeting these minimum requirements. If yes, then go back, and here, right, you just have to go to this section called releases and click on this, which will take you to this page, and this is the latest version which is released on September 24, 2024. Okay, just scroll down. So here we can see the list of all the different Windows or MacBook downloadable files. So if it is not showing like this, okay, I think it is showing, right? So no need to worry about that. If not, what I was trying to say is that, so here if you directly navigate from this section, right, yeah, sometimes it will not show. This is what I was trying to say, that MacBook, you are seeing only the MacBook and the Linux executable files, right, the downloadable files. So if you want to download for Windows, right, you have to click on this show all 26 assets so that you can see these files as well. Okay, now we have different varieties of files for Windows system. So which one to download? So that I will explain here. Sorry for that. Yeah, so for Windows system, right, if you guys are using any 64-bit Windows PCs with Intel and AMD processors, you have to download this win-x64.exe. Again, downloading .exe file is easy. I mean, it's better to download that file because the installation will be easy for you guys. You just have to double click on that downloaded file, and within 2 steps this will be completed. The installation will be completed. Okay, so that is first thing. That is a win-x64. This file you need to download. And if you guys are using ARM based Windows devices with Qualcomm Snapdragon processors, you have to download this win-arm64.exe. That is this one. And if you are still on like old 32-bit system, you have to download this win-exe, this one. Okay, so this is for the Windows system users, guys. So I'll not prepare a separate video for that because installation is pretty simple. It's just basic. You just have to click on this and it will start downloading the files for you guys like this. I'll cancel this because I don't want it. Okay, and you can finish the installation. Now coming to the Mac users, right? Yeah, so if you guys are using MacBook with Intel processors, you have to download this x64.dmg files. So that is this one. So it's better to download the disk image file so that installation will be easy for you. Now when it comes to the MacBook with Apple Silicon chip such as M1, M2 and latest M3, right, you guys have to download ARM64 DMG files. That is, where is it? ARM64.dmg, this file. Okay, now let me click on that. It will start downloading the file for us. Now let me cancel it because I already have downloaded that file. Okay, it is just a 150 MB, like 150ish, yeah, that file. Now once it is downloaded, yeah, this is the one. So we have to double click on it, and here we need to drag and drop this Appium inspector to applications to start the installation. Okay, so is it done? Yeah, it is done actually. Now I need to find, okay, so once it is done, you can go here and eject this. Okay, now that is done. Now let me see whether it is there or not. Yeah, here it is. See, now it is installed. Otherwise you can just directly open like this, Appium inspector. Okay, so it is saying it is an app downloaded from internet. Are you sure you want to open it? Yes, you click on open. See, that's it. Installation is pretty simple, right? Just drag and drop and we are good to go. So this and all I'll explain in detail in the upcoming videos. So we go through each and every section, what it is trying to do, and yeah, and this is what I was trying to say, that cloud platforms, right? It is providing support to the 10 plus platforms, cloud providers, Sauce Labs, Headspin, Lambda Test, Browser Stack, Perfecto, and all. Okay, yeah. So this is simple, the Appium inspector installation. And one more thing I wanted to show you in the same video is that Appium desktop actually. See, this is actually a graphical user interface Appium server creation application. But okay, so if you want to download, but I don't recommend you guys to download this. Well, I'll tell you, because here in this official GitHub page, right, so they are saying that Appium desktop is unsupported and it is no longer maintained and has some security vulnerabilities. So it is not advised to use it at all. So that is what they are saying. Earlier we were using it actually. So before it is kind of, stopped supporting. But I wanted to show you like how it looks. Okay, so let's have downloaded for this video purpose. This is the Appium server GUI. Okay, let me open this. Yeah, so here see is nothing but Appium server creation. Okay, so I have already created a video like how to install Appium CLI server, right? So that we can launch the Appium server with terminal or command prompt on Windows system, right? So if you guys have not watched that video, please go and watch it. I'll add a link to that video in this top right corner of this video. Okay, so here what it is saying is that on which host and port you want to start the server. Okay, so let me click on start server. So this will start the Appium server and it is listening at this host and port. Fine. So this is one way of launching the Appium server and start using to interact with your application. Okay, but this is, since it is stopped supporting, right? So that means they are only saying that not to use it. So that's why I've prepared a video earlier to use the Appium. How to create an Appium server through the terminal and CLI, right? Sorry, command prompt, right? So you guys can go and use this Appium server, but earlier we used to do it, but not now. So it is not recommended, don't use it, but I wanted to just show to you. So this is one way of launching the Appium server. The another way is just to open terminal and type Appium, so that it will start the server for us like this. Okay, so earlier we used to do like this. Earlier we had a different Appium server GUI and the Appium inspector. Earlier we used to have both in one actually. Appium inspector was also part of Appium GUI. So it looks like since it was kind of stopped supporting, so might be they have separated this Appium inspector application as a standalone application. Okay, but anyways, even I don't recommend you guys to download this. Just for this demo purpose I have downloaded it. I'll uninstall it right away. Okay, so this is how we need to install Appium inspector, guys. So yeah, so let me know if you guys are facing any issues. Okay, yep. So thanks for watching this video, guys. See you in the next video. Bye.